Hello!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wolf Den Live, episode 218. Still not canceled due to coronavirus, but who knows at this point?
Well, we do it in our homes.
We do it miles away from each other.
So we're not contaminating anybody. There's
yes,
no way.
That's true. And I wash my hands nonstop, mostly because I have a kid now, but also because there's, Resident Evil happening.
Do your hands crack from washing them so much?
Not really. My knuckles do get dry sometimes, but that happens regardless.
I had to start putting Aquaphor on my hands because I was washing them so much. They started to dry out. Anyway, hope you're all well. Hope you're not coroned.
Yeah. Can we start saying that again on YouTube?
What?
Because I know there were demonetizing videos that mentioned it.
We can't. I just watched Philip DeFranco. He got effed.
Yeah.
So oopsies. Well, way to go. Well, you started it. You started in the very beginning of the episode.
I think I just crapped out.
You crapped out?
Hold on.
I'm not recording this episode. There we go. I'm recording now. Might not get the intro. Might have to splice the intro in there. Anyway, hello everybody. Hello She-Fan. Hello Aaron. Hello Uptown's Vids. Hello Audrey McDowell. Hello Super I Like Potatoes. Hello everybody. But a special hello to Miloslav Justice, Dante Mira, Sage Phoenix DM, Oliver Young, Aiden Collin, Adine Collin, Eric Henley, Matt Preston, Dark Type, Trip Gould, The Geek Chick, Sergio Arroyo with $2 says, kinda looks like Sony is scared. I don't know why you would think that.
Remember, Sony did not back out of E3 due to coronavirus. They backed out because they've been backing out. That's been their MO for a while.
Well, Sony backed out of PAX because of coronavirus.
Right.
But they did not back out of E3 because they backed out of E3 because they just don't care about E3.
Exactly.
Dark Type with $2. Wolf Den is not dead. No, we're not.
Nope.
Not yet.
Can't kill us.
Got plenty of time. Sergio Ario with another $5. Will Reggie save GameStop? Find out in the next episode of DBZ. You mean Wolf Den Live.
You said it wrong. It's find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. And then the heavy metal riff comes in.
Right.
Someone put that on Weeb Den or I will cancel that Twitter account.
I don't know if you heard me before, but I started recording a few seconds into it. So, oh well.
I did not catch that because I accidentally hit my HDMI cable and it screwed me up royally.
Of course.
So I had to fix that.
What are you drinking, Bob? I'm drinking a nice cold brew. I didn't have enough time to make an actual coffee, so I had a cold brew. It's something I got off of Amazon Fresh. I don't remember this. It started with an S. Anyway, E3's dead. E3's dead forever. It's gone. It's done. Never happening again.
E3 has been canceled this year due to the ongoing threat of Corona.
According to...
It couldn't have come at a worse time for the event.
Why?
Because of all the other problems they've been having.
I think it couldn't have come at a better time because it needed to be canceled. It needed a reason, and this is the reason. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it happened.
Okay.
I'm happy it's done. It's over. Goodbye. Holly Wolf was was commented before. She said something like she's upset because don't look at that screen. She said she was upset because she's not going to be able to see the Nintendo booth. And Nintendo booth is the best part of E3 because there's always something crazy going on. It's always nice looking. But we saw it at PAX. It was awesome. The Animal Crossing stuff. Yeah, that was great. I don't need it at E3. I don't need to be at E3 to see whatever the hell they're doing at E3. I'm cool.
Yeah, because they usually always do a direct anyway, and then their booth at E3 is literally just whatever they just announced. So
anyway, according to Kotaku, Jason Schreier says the biggest trade show in video games is skipping a year, E3 2020, which was planned to take place at Los Angeles Convention Center this June, is canceled as a result of COVID-19 coronavirus.
I think you can say COVID.
COVID virus coronavirus.
COVID-19 coronavirus that is currently
Coronavirus.
spreading across the globe, according to organizers of the conference. Yeah.
Okay. After a quote from the ESA, after careful consideration with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners. Wow, they actually care about us, Will. We have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th to 11th in Los Angeles. They said. The ESA added that it will be looking to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. Interesting, because Jeff Keighley backed out.
Yes.
So he's not hosting that.
Just because he's not hosting it doesn't mean that they weren't going to do something.
True.
You know, they probably would have gotten, I don't know, who's like Jeff
Miller?
Keighley light.
Greg Miller?
Well, he wasn't going regardless, I don't think.
I'd hope so. Traditionally, E3 has two parts. During the first few days of the show, from Saturday through Monday, major video game publishers like Microsoft and Ubisoft hold press conferences to showcase trailers, announce their latest games, while from Tuesday to Thursday, the show floor opens for business deals and video game demos. The first part will be far easier to replicate than the second. Microsoft has already announced an Xbox digital event for this year, as has Ubisoft. And then here's a tweet from Phil Spencer, who says, E3 has always been an important moment for Team Xbox. Given the decision this year, we'll celebrate the next generation of gaming with the Xbox community and all who love to play via an Xbox digital event. Details on timing and more in the coming weeks. So that's not hard for them to set up because they already do that anyway.
Well, they do like a regular, traditional big press conference at E3.
Yeah, but
with a full arena full of people.
This year, basically probably just save as and just make it one big long video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'd have to do it from they'll probably do it from the Microsoft office in Washington.
Yeah, but it's mostly trailers anyway. So really, all you're filling in is the guys talking.
Right.
And that's not hard to do. We do that every week, Will.
Yep, every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I thought I had, because I put in the key, Microsoft, Ubisoft going to do digital presentations, and I thought it had Ubisoft's tweet about it, but apparently it doesn't.
Yeah, that I was going to ask you to grab that.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Where'd you put it? Oh, you didn't put it in there.
I thought the article I put in had it, but apparently not.
Where's the article you put it in?
It's right below Nintendo's reaction.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't have Ubisoft's tweet. That's dumb. Does it have a quote? All right. Well, anyway, let's listen to.
Keep going.
Let's listen to what Nintendo has to say, because a bunch of publishers now are saying, or big companies, they're saying their plans now. But again, most of them do digital presentations anyway, or it would be super easy for them to do digital presentations. So this isn't like the end of the world. Also, I should add, the press conferences that all these people do, I don't think that's like an E3 thing. I think it just so happens to be around E3.
Well, I think it is. I think they work in conjunction with the ESA to get these press conferences like off the ground, and even it's like to broadcast them to the various websites and journalists.
But they broadcast it on their own. Like Xbox broadcasted on its own.
Yeah, Xbox.
They used GameSlice. Was GameSlice in? Yeah, I guess they were. Well, GameSlice was Jeff Keighley's thing.
Yeah,
and they, I guess, were part of the ESA.
Well, yeah, like all the video game publishers who go to E3 are part of the ESA, so they all work together to broadcast this stuff to everybody. Like, yeah, you can go to Microsoft's website to watch the press conference, but you can also watch it on GameSpot or IGN or Polygon or Kotaku and websites like that.
But you still can, though. Like that's what I'm like. You don't need E3 to be like, okay, Kotaku, you can stream the press conference.
No, and I'm sure that they'll still work together to schedule who goes when and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. They'll probably talk to each other. I mean, they'll probably just do the same schedule they did last year.
Yeah, I have Ubisoft's update.
Okay,
The health and well-being of our teams, players, and partners is our top priority. So while we're disappointed, we fully support the ESA's decision to cancel E3 2020. E3 is and will continue to be a moment where we come together as a community and share our love of games. We're exploring other options for a digital experience that will allow us to share all the exciting news we have planned. Stay tuned for more.
Okay, so they're also doing another digital thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fred with $2 says COVID-19 can be sung like "Come on, Eileen," FYI.
COVID-19.
Yes.
Oh, I swear. I mean,
thanks for getting us demonetized.
Yeah.
Fred. Nintendo also has a reaction. They said Nintendo supports the ESA's decision to cancel this year's E3 to help protect the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners. We would like to express our concern and support for all those affected by COVID-19 outbreak during this challenging time. We'll continue to be flexible and redirect our efforts to other ways of keeping our fans up to date about our activities and products. Because of COVID-19 outbreak, large industry events may be unattainable for the foreseeable future, but we are considering various ways to engage with our fans and will have more to share as the year continues. Again, they don't need the convention. There's just no reason for it. They do, especially Nintendo, they do it digitally.
Well, I think the thing is, because like E3 was more than just announcing what the games were. There were also a place where journalists can go and actually play the games and get a hands-on with them and experience them for themselves. But that said, nowadays, they don't really need that. You could send demo discs or demo files to the publishers and stuff. You can release the demos online for the people to play in their homes.
Well, they don't want to do that because then people will break it.
People don't do that enough, though. Like, I feel like it would, be beneficial.
Yeah, that'd be super helpful if we could just get a demo instead of having to go somewhere. But they know that we will take the demo and rip it into a million pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
we'll really get into that demo.
Yeah.
Or send over a representative.
Yeah. Well, what they usually do, like a week or so before E3, they have what's called Judges Week, where the where the journalists will go and play all the games before the convention so that they can have detailed write-ups ready to go before the show starts.
Is that a thing that they still do?
Yeah.
How come I've never experienced that?
You're not a judge.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
It's they do that so that, as soon as Microsoft announces Halo Infinite and then immediately they have an article about it on their website, it's not a surprise to them.
Right. Also, Kotaku notes that this year was the first year that Warner Brothers Games was going to have a press conference.
Yes. And
that's probably a Batman thing.
Because, they would have announced Batman, I think a Harry Potter game, what Rocksteady was working on, which isn't connected to Batman. So
it's probably Ninja Turtles.
Probably. Oh my God, I wish it was Ninja Turtles.
I also want to point to a tweet that Jason Schreier, the writer of that Kotaku article, said. He said, most people only think of E3 as press conferences, but those will be easily replicated. The repercussions will come from the deals that don't happen, the indie pitches and biz lunches and chance meetings that can save companies. E3's cancellation could really hurt some people.
That is true. Because we always think of E3 as like a traditional convention, like your PAXs or your Comic-Cons and whatnot, but it's not. It's an industry event for people to show off their product to other industry insiders, to retailers, to journalists, and also too, it's a place where indie developers can show off and possibly pitch their games to bigger publishers.
Right.
So there's this whole fan aspect of it and this whole like traditional Comic-Con aspect to it that really shouldn't be there.
Right,
That
it really
sort
shouldn't.
that everybody always thinks of when they think of E3, when it really shouldn't be that.
Greg Miller added to that and said, I'd like to go a step further. E3's cancellation will really hurt people. Publishers, devs, marketers, game sites, hosts, freelance writers, convention center staff, janitors, booth staff. E3 was a huge gig for so many. While this was the right call, it's going to change lives.
I forgot who said it, but someone else basically added in addition to that, hotels, restaurants, transportation in the area, like the Uber drivers and things like that. Like that's all going to take a hit because this was big business for downtown LA around that
That's
time.
already taking a hit because of the virus.
Yeah.
That in the travel industry has already seen like a huge hit because no one wants to go anywhere. They want to be self-quarantined. It is true about E3 that like when we go there, we see things that we never would have thought that we would have liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things catch our eye and then we play around with them and then we're like, oh, this is really cool. And then we decide to talk about it. Like we didn't know the Polymega was going to be at E3.
Right.
But we knew about it and we've talked about it before. Yeah. So that's something that we knew about. The only thing that I can think of that like actually that we saw at the convention last year that made us want to talk about it was the Marcel
the Marseille cables,
the M Classic that was awesome, and then we got a video out of that just because we saw it at the convention. So that was worth it for Marseille. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Marseille.
That was worth it for Marseille to go there because we would have never seen it. Nintendo would have never seen it. And that's good press for them. But we're not talking about all of the people who spend tens of thousands of dollars to go to E3 and then their product fails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it's even more money wasted for these people. So there's two sides. It's not all bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it could be bad for some of these publishers. Like for these indie developers, this is a chance for them to pitch their stuff.
Yeah.
But it could also be a chance for them to save some money if the pitch wasn't going to work out anyway.
I think the big thing was because E3 is in this like weird state where attendance goes down every year significantly. They keep losing money on the event. It has a very bad reputation just from like the fact that there's too many people, not enough time to see everything. And then it got worse last year when they leaked everybody's information. So there was just a lot of negativity around E3. And it doesn't help that, developers and publishers keep pulling out of the event. So this could have been the year where they turned things around and like tried to better themselves and be an actual good convention. Probably wasn't going to happen. But now that's definitely not going to happen because they canceled it.
I think this is the perfect time for this cancellation because of all of those problems. Because I want E3 to fail and I want them to stop doing it, or at least vastly change how they do things.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to vastly change.
Or I don't even want them to change how they do things. I want somebody else to come in and take it over. I don't want the ESA involved anymore at all.
Yeah.
I want a Reed Pop to come in and be like, give me this. And then they handle it,
I don't because Reed Pop makes New York Comic Con get way too big.
Yes.
I feel like if they didn't open it up to the public at all, and I think if they segmented it, like 1 week traditional news outlets, and then the next week influencers, I think that would go a long way.
No, and I'm offended that you said that. Because we are media, goddammit.
No, here's why I say that. Because right now it's like the number of, traditional media outlets and influencers, it's like almost like the same. And that's just way too many people to have in the Los Angeles Convention Center at the same time.
No,
so if you stretch it
the
out,
general public is too many people. If you have media and influencers, you're fine.
All I'm saying is if they need to give enough time for everybody who gets invited to this to see everything that's there. And if that means splitting it, then that's a good way to do it. I'm not saying that one is better than the other or that they're different.
No, but you're giving priority to the media over the influencers.
Why? Because they go first?
Yes.
Well,
and you can't do that. There's enough
all
room
right, so
for
have
both.
everybody go at the same time, but
Yes.
like stretch it out over the course of 2 weeks, because 3 days is not enough.
If you cut out the general public, there is so much more room in that convention center.
Yeah.
It's the reason it's so packed is because of the general public. I will say, though, that like the second year I went, I forgot when that was, like 2015 maybe, they let so many Twitch partners come in.
Yeah.
And that was crazy because like you didn't need much like influencer credentials in order to get in.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I think a split wouldn't be so bad, because you would need to vet who are actually influencers and who are just dudes exploiting their 2 subscribers to go to E3.
It's just the reason it's so packed is because of the general public.
Right.
If you just either segment that or cut it out completely, that's fine. But the reason why I want somebody to take over and not the ESA is because that's not enough. Like restructuring it so it's just a media event isn't enough, because they still leaked everybody's information on their own website.
True.
You know what I mean? They don't know how to handle things. They don't know how to handle security, and they did not damage control that well at all. So that's why somebody else needs to step in, because I do not trust them anymore. I do not like them. Their own security at the event was garbage, and you know that because we couldn't do anything. They wouldn't let us in with our cameras and stuff. And it's organized poorly because there's 1,000 people there and it's hard to cover anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad that it's being canceled now. I wish it was for a different reason. I wish it wasn't because of a giant pandemic. But I'm glad that it's happening now. I hope that all of the publishers and big companies see this as a success, even though E3 isn't happening. I hope they save a bunch of money, and then I hope they still get the word about their games out there in a similar way. Yeah, and then see, oh, we don't need this, and then they all pull a Sony next year.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because like just because it's not happening this year doesn't mean it's not going to happen next year. It will more than likely happen next year, but because it's not happening this year, it's not. Next year's E3 will definitely be the worst E3 on record, because no one's going to go. Attendance is going to be, at the bottom, like the lowest it's ever been. It's just, this is not good for E3.
Well, it has to be different next year.
It would have to be.
I mean, they're already working on changing the format for this year, or they were anyway. So extend the time that you were going to take to reformat it and do it next year.
Yeah.
But it seemed like there were huge problems with the way that they were going to change the format. Like I Am 8-Bit was going to do a lot of the creative design, and then they dropped out because of what seemed like creative differences. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, how could that happen? You bring these people in to help with your design, and then they're like, and then they leave. Like, that's weird. And yeah, Jeff Keighley left again. It looked like creative differences, and it didn't seem amicable on both of those people's parts. It seemed like something weird happened. So it just, all signs point to it's not looking good for E3. Yeah. So next year I bet the format's going to be vastly different. It's probably not going to be for the better because they have no idea what they're doing.
I think the ideal situation here is you still do Judges Week, like have all the journalists and whatnot go out, play the game so that they can write them up, in time for the actual reveal, the public reveal. And then you basically do like the 2-3 days of press conferences that they normally do. And like, just time it out. So like Microsoft goes first, then Bethesda, then Ubisoft, then Warner Brothers, then Nintendo. And that's it. And you can do that every year.
Yeah.
That's sustainable. I mean, most people don't go to E3, so they don't get to play these games. So they experience E3 pretty much only, the first few days when the press conferences are going on.
How many people actually go to E3? Like 200,000?
Something like that. Yeah.
Which sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But when you think about how many people watch it online, it's not a lot.
Well, I can tell you from experience because I've only been 2 years, and the rest of the time I would watch the press conferences, and that's it. And E3 would keep going for a few more days, but I got all my news in the first 2.
A lot of our friends who do YouTube and stuff prefer to stay home because it's easier to cover everything that's happening when you're home.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
I just like being there because I like making different types of videos. I like making a video that's like, hey, we're here doing this, because you can't do that from home.
Yeah,
I use the opportunity to make something different.
Yeah, having actually played Spider-Man and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 gave me a better idea of what the games were gonna be before they came out. But at the same time, I didn't play Square Enix's Avengers. I just watched a bad trailer of it, and it didn't really, wasn't really worth it. I could have done that from home.
Yeah, we've never been to a press conference.
That's true, yeah.
But I don't see that benefiting us. Being at a press conference, how are we going to be able to cover it better just because we're there? That's kind of just like a clout thing.
It would have been I forgot who used to do it, but it was one of Adam Sessler's things where after the press conference, he gave his reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
did he do it?
I just watched the press conference. Yeah.
Did he do it at the convention?
Yeah. He would go watch the press conference live, and then afterwards immediately film a video talking about what he saw.
Oh, okay.
Which I feel is kind of redundant.
You could just do that watching the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to look it up here, but here I think I found it. So E3 has a contract with with LA and the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Right.
And it's up soon. So that means they might be able to find a new home for E3 in the future if they want to even keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see when the contract is up. There was that one time it was in Vegas.
Is in Vegas. It was also in Atlanta for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. We have our clear path forward for the next 3 years in Los Angeles. This was in 2012. Okay, well, we know that they did it for a lot longer than that. I don't know when the contract's up, but it...
Yeah. 97 and 98, it was in Atlanta. 2007, it was in Santa Monica. And that was when it basically took place in a hotel. And then every year since then, it's been the LA Convention Center.
Oh, well, according to GameIndustry.biz, in 2017, they had no plans to come to LA in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. They predicted the future. GameIndustry.biz. So, yeah, I know that contract's up soon. It might be up next year. I just don't have any hard evidence of that. I think John was talking about that from Spawn Wave.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly what the number is. But anyway, the contract is not very long. It's within the next year or two that they have the ability to move
according
away
to
from
Wikipedia, the ESA affirmed that they have renegotiated to use the convention center through 2023, but retain the rights to break that contract if desired. So they're allowed to use the convention center for the next 4 years.
But they don't have to.
They don't have to.
Okay, that's weird. That gives them a lot of power.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got till 2023. Oh, but again, it doesn't. That basically means nothing because they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They have LA if they want it, but they could go anywhere else. All right, whatever. That's all I gotta say about this. I'm glad that it's canceled. I'm sad that it's for these reasons. I just liked making the type of content we did at E3, but I had a much better time at PAX because it was exactly what was expected. You know what I mean? Like E3, they're always like, "Oh, come, cover the event and the games," and then there's like roadblocks that you have to fight through.
Yeah, I mean, I know I just went there and I've been like hyping it up, and I didn't really get to experience it properly, but like Toy Fair was perfect. Like, I know we have we had our problems with it being the first time there, but now that we know how it works, like if E3 was that, there would be no problems. Like like Toy Fair's been going on for years.
I think I think everything that you liked about Toy Fair is what I liked about PAX.
Right.
The only difference is PAX has more people.
Right.
But this year, PAX didn't feel like it had that many people because some people dropped out, so like the aisles were bigger. And I didn't realize that until afterwards.
I think that was the big thing I liked about Toy Fair was that there was a lot less people there.
Yeah, there was barely any people. But the biggest problem with Toy Fair was that everything was behind closed doors.
Right, which is a little... And I put that in my survey.
I did too. I wrote a little nasty thing in the survey about
I wrote something like, try and incentivize people to not have everything behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I compared it to E3, like how like all these game publishers and stuff will have the booth open for everybody, but then if you want to see something special,
but that's not true either, because
okay.
I waited on a 2-hour line to see the stupid ass Avengers game. And that was behind closed doors.
Yes.
And it was a dumbass, it was a very poorly done walkthrough.
Yes.
And I couldn't post about it online. And then like a few months later it was available at New York Comic Con to play.
But so, the difference is, okay, so yes, that's dumb and that shouldn't have happened. That is the same problem as the Toy Fair. But the difference is that they have like an area like that showroom. At E3, they had like the Avengers showroom where you can take pictures of all of the, stuff from the superheroes and whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas at Toy Fair, it was a wall. Yeah. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
E3 should have had you make an appointment to do that, not wait online for 2 hours. And that is an effect of having the general public or too many of the general public come in, and it was too crowded, so you couldn't get all those appointments. But I didn't have any of those problems at PAX. I thought I was gonna have a problem with Nintendo. I was ready to freaking punch somebody. But then I got in really quickly, and I'm very fortunate for that. You went to PAX last year, and that was the only PAX you ever went to, right?
Right. Yeah.
How was that compared to E3?
I mean,
did we even have a lot of appointments?
Not really. I mean,
this year I was booked up.
I mean, PAX for the most part felt like a traditional convention. It felt like your standard Comic Cons and whatnot, and that's fine.
We didn't play a lot of games. No, we did. We
did. No, we did. Well,
you played like Ion Maiden and stuff.
Yeah, Ion Maiden, Wrath, that whatchamacallit, that ninja game from Yacht Club.
Cyber Shadow.
Cyber Shadow.
I played again this year.
Final Fantasy X on Switch.
We played a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying we didn't play a lot of stuff, but what I'm saying is like that felt more like a traditional convention, rather than E3. There was like this, mystique about E3.
Yeah.
But like PAX was super relaxed. Even if you didn't have an appointment, it's possible to play, all the games that were there. You just have to wait a long time.
Right.
So,
John Crawford in the chat asks, Wulff Brothers, how would you get the right balance between a behind closed doors media / influencer focused event versus something like a gaming convention? So I think the best thing to do is to just not have that balance and either go completely media centered or completely general public centered.
Yeah. If you're gonna do both, then you should probably you'd have to split it. Like 1 week do media, the next week do the public, because there's no way you can do both at the same time.
So I thought this year at PAX was the perfect example of what it was the perfect example. Like, it's a convention that's completely open to the public, but I made a lot of appointments with a lot of companies. But I did the legwork though. I did this beforehand. And they let me play all of their games. A lot of these places had like a special side area where there would be like just a one unit for media to try the games out and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is an event that's not set up for media, but was very accommodating. But I don't know if it's just because I was treated really well. Because like people knew like, oh, this is the Nintendo Switch guy. We got to treat this guy really well.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear the same thing from other people.
Right.
I know that I was treated very well, and it was a great time with all of the companies that I got to have meetings with. But yeah, I didn't hear the same from other people. So I might be a little biased. But my perspective might be a little skewed.
Right.
But I thought it was perfect. I thought that's how you do it. You just have one little unit set up so people can go, so media can go play and shoot whatever they need. Some places, some companies had an off-site. They had like stuff at the hotels that they would take you to, which was a little weird. But what they should do is like E3 does have those. They have the booths, and then they have that other area. Did you go in that other area? It's like in between the two. Yeah, at E3. It's between the two convention halls.
That's where we played Moss, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
something like that.
It's like these small offices that are in like a row of like cubicle looking things.
Yeah.
And you can play all the behind closed doors demos. That's so if you're gonna have it open to the public, you have the open to the public area, and then you have the area where everybody can go play the games.
Yeah, I think New York Comic Con is basically set up like that.
Yeah. But I guess the problem with that is that there's so many media that like people like us, they're like, oh, we don't care about you. We got freaking Kotaku waiting in the wings. But at PAX, they're like, come on in, Mr. Wulff. Have a water.
That's part of the reason why I'm not against them splitting it, media and influencers, because at least, the influencers will be treated with respect. They'll have the time to go in and do things the way they need to, without, the publishers worrying about, oh, we have to accommodate traditional media first,
The problem I have with that is that, I have to also put out my content the same time that the media is putting out their content, So, like, I it's already hard enough for me to compete with the IGNs and the Kotakus.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, Harris here. Hello. How you doing?
Just got to make everything super long then.
Did you have a nice time at PAX, guy with the hair? Guy with the hair. Why am I calling you that? How did you feel about the way the booths treated you as an influencer? Was PAX a good influencer convention for you, or was E3 better? Anyway, I'm done talking about E3. We got a lot of other things to talk about.
Okay, we also have super chats.
John Crawford says, Bob, you definitely got preferential treatment, probably because you called everyone cute boys. We did get super chats. We got Jamie89 with a toonie who says no comment. Thanks, dude.
Okay.
We got Raz Tendo with 20 sec.
That's Swedish krona. I looked it up.
We need E3 to not go all digital. Why? Please. It'd make my life so much easier.
It'd make everybody's life easier. Because remember, most people experience E3 just watching the press conferences on their computer and then don't care about the next 3 days.
Yeah. Are you even going to go? Like, were you even going to go if it was happening?
Yeah.
You're giving a Swedish krona. And then he says, though, games with a 20, another one, Gamescom is bigger. That's where it's gone. That's where it's gone. Go down. Yeah, just go to that. Actually, I think Gamescom just canceled it. Oh, no. The same day that E3 canceled, Gamescom put tickets out.
Well, Gamescom, I think, does two days press only. And then the next 3 is open to everybody.
That's what I was going to say. PAX has a media time, like the very early on Thursday is media time where you can go in and do whatever you want. Remember when Comic-Con was like that?
Yeah, Comic-Con.
Thursdays were
Thursday
only...
night was for media, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was for everybody. But now Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is everybody.
I think that is perfect. If PAX made Thursday all media, that would be absolutely perfect.
I think, because you can't do media and public at the same time, really.
Actually, E3 had a media time too, but it wasn't. It was like
that. But that was BS because they were the same days, but media got to go earlier in the day. Yeah. So by the time the public would get there, they would have to wait online, and they'd be waiting online for much longer. Like, I never got to play Resident Evil 2 there because by the time I would get there, because I was considered public, the media was already waiting online. It was like a 3-hour wait.
Wait.
Yeah.
That was the first year we were considered public. Last year we were media.
Yeah.
So last year, I think we just Oh no, we got there at the media hour, but we beelined it for our perspective things that we needed to do.
Yeah. But no, I'm talking about my first year there. When we were considered the public, we weren't allowed to get there until noon.
Meanwhile, we were sent by Bandai.
Yes.
I want to make it clear.
By the time we got there, all the lines were taken up, so you couldn't do anything. And you couldn't bring your camera, you couldn't take pictures, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't bring a backpack.
Yeah. And that's why we hate E3. That's part of why we hate E3. Guy with the hair says, honestly, I think PAX is the best convention for content creators. It's a lot more close-knit, and E3 is only for the mega content creators. PAX allows smaller creators like myself in. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, I definitely got the feel of that.
I was able to get like a media badge at PAX like when I had like under 10,000 subs. So they're very accommodating. I will say, though, I don't know if PAX is good if you're like a super mega star, if you're like 20 million subs or some garbage, if you're like a Markiplier, you might have some problems because how are you going to get around?
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably have like an enforcer with you, but I like it because you could just walk around and everything's great.
Yeah.
One more super chat. We got Matt Schlem with $5. Says, Bob, why do you not like mustard on burgers? I'm glad you're here for this, Will. Kevin Kenson said that on Beat 'em Up's video. Yeah, okay. I got called out.
Okay, so let's explain.
I need Will to help defend me here.
Okay. On Long Island and the immediate New York City metropolitan area, fast food restaurants, your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, your Wendy's, your whatnots, do not put mustard on their hamburgers. They don't. That's just not a thing that those restaurants do in this region. Mm-hmm. Outside of here, in Bizarro World, they put mustard and ketchup and whatnot on their hamburgers. That's not something that we're used to here. So every time we go out to another state and we get McDonald's or Burger King and we bite into it and we taste mustard, it freaks us out.
Yeah. I always forget that's a thing.
Yeah.
But is it literally everywhere but New York?
As far as I know, it's even like upstate New York in some places. It's just Long Island and I think just the 5 boroughs in New York.
Fred says mustard on a burger, gross. And Fred's from Connecticut or Rhode Island? One of those. Are you telling me that they don't put mustard on there up there in Connecticut, Rhode Island land? I need to know I need a wiki map of where they start putting mustard on burgers. Jesse says mustard on a burger is awesome. He learned just how to get timed out on this stream. Techno Nova says, imagine using mustard, LOL. It's weird. It's weird to put ketchup and then also mustard.
Yeah.
Just stick to one. And it should be ketchup.
I mean, because I usually ask for no ketchup. And if I do this in, California, I ask for no ketchup. I bite into it. It's just a pile of mustard.
Well, you say only pickles.
Well, I have to do that.
That's your thing, though. Like, even here, you say...
Well, sometimes I say no ketchup because I can get away with that here. Sometimes it's easier for them to understand no ketchup than only pickles. I've learned this.
In-N-Out doesn't do mustard.
No, In-N-Out has their own weird thing.
They have their own weird thing.
Yeah.
McDonald's puts mustard on burgers in New Jersey. New Jersey is the bad timeline of New York. It's New York, but something happened.
Yeah.
All right, everybody's saying it. Oh, in Ecuador they put mustard? God, man.
What?
You people need to learn. Would you guys be mad if you came to New York and got a burger and it didn't have mustard?
Yeah.
I want to know that. No mustard on burgers in Westchester County. Okay, so that's close enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Rockland County and most Hudson River Valley counties. All right, we got to stop talking about this.
All right, but we have a super chat.
What is that super chat, Will?
John Halstead with $5. Wanted to ask, since you went to Toy Fair, any release date for those Sonic toys, specifically the Sonic and Tails 12-inch toys? I think that was Jack Specific is making them, and no, because that was behind closed doors.
We only saw them from the outside. Are you talking about the movie ones?
I think so.
Yeah, we only saw them from the outside. There was like a little glass case. But yeah, we couldn't get into that. Because again, we had no idea that it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot more to talk about here.
Yes.
Like, for example, there's a rumor. You know, this rumor happens all the time. There's gonna be 2 Nintendo Directs. I got a text from Atten.
Okay.
Who says he's never had mustard on a burger in Pennsylvania.
Okay. So Pennsylvania is an okay state.
I also don't know if I buy that. I feel like Pennsylvania's close, but I feel like it's out in the sticks, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, rumor, 2 Nintendo presentations expected to air before the end of March. That's too many.
Yeah.
This is according to Nintendo Life. I should read the other article first. The UK-based game retailer may have lifted the lid on a Nintendo Direct presentation ahead of schedule. Let's go to that article first.
Okay.
As the Nintendo fan base goes into its gazillionth day without a Direct presentation, we may have exaggerated this slightly for effect. A slip up from UK retailer Game might have given us a reason to believe that a show is just around the corner. Might. Earlier today, Nintendo and Lego teased a collaboration for the Super Mario franchise, and while details are extremely thin on the ground at the time of writing, Game was one of the first retailers to set up a web page for fans to register their interest. What? When the page first appeared, it said that the latest Nintendo Direct announcement, the latest Nintendo Direct announced their exciting collaboration. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Despite the fact that the announcement was actually made in a simple social media post. That doesn't mean anything.
It just says that Nintendo has an announcement.
Did an announcement. They were saying that they did it already. So that just doesn't mean anything. People are grasping at straws here. But, I mean, I didn't have an article here about the Lego collaboration, but that's because we don't know anything. All we know is Lego is collaborating with Mario, and the toy that they had looked weird.
It's probably going to be a playset. I doubt that we're going to get a Lego Super Mario Brothers game.
Well, there's a video here. Can I mute this so that it doesn't blow everybody's eardrums out? I tried to mute it. There we go. Yeah, it looks it looks weird. Like, that's not a minifig.
Yeah.
Remember at the Toy Fair there was a booth that we thought was Lego, but they had like weird Lego things.
Yeah.
They weren't exactly Lego. They were like
forgot who that
Lego
was.
styled lamps and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like. So we don't know what this could be.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's completely irrelevant. Now to add to this, VentureBeat staff writer reported and verified Twitter user Jeff Grubb has published an article claiming a Nintendo Indie World video will, quote, likely be broadcast on the 18th of March, and a proper Nintendo Direct is expected to follow it on the 26th of March. That's okay. it says it's in the final stages of putting the video presentation together. That's based on what we're hearing, as well as some other indicators. So just to make it clear, not one, but 2 video presentations are expected to air before the end of the month. While Jeff says he can't confirm the first-party titles that will be shown, he does say the presentation will take a much broader look at Nintendo's upcoming software lineup. The company is also expected to continue to rely heavily on remasters and ports, and will bring in more support from third-party publishers and developers. He goes on to state that it's definitely happening, and thinks we'll hear more about it next week. He says Nintendo is deep into the process of putting the event together. Based on what I've heard, it has decided many of the third-party games it will include in the event, so it's definitely happening, and almost certainly before the end of March. So an unverified source, who is verified on Twitter, but that doesn't mean anything. An unverified source says, hey, there's a Nintendo Direct happening. His bio, this is Jeff Grubb, it literally just says, I'm friends with the guy who played Cuphead bad. Is that me? Are we friends? Oh, it's the Venture Beat guy. Oh, it's one person. I thought it was 2 different people who verified that. So we might get 2 Nintendo Directs. I mean, any minute now, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct.
We've been saying that for the past 3 months.
Yeah, but the longer we go without one, the more likely it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, tension is building, you know? But 2 of them? Did not expect that.
I feel like one would be your traditional Nintendo Direct with a whole bunch of game announcements, and then another would be specifically for one game, like, coming out, you know?
Yeah, they keep doing that. The last 2 Nintendo Directs were on just individual games.
Yeah. Well, if they're having like 2 Nintendo Directs a few weeks apart from each other, that's probably what they're doing.
Well, this guy's saying it's going to be a software lineup that relies heavily on remasters and ports.
Yeah.
Right now, Nintendo doesn't have anything slated after Animal Crossing.
Right.
There's no big games coming out. So they need to announce something. I'm fine with some ports and remasters.
Yeah.
I would love Mario Galaxy because I've never finished any of them.
Yeah, me neither.
I'd be cool with Sunshine. I'd replay that. I don't want 3D World. I could care less about 3D World.
That will probably be next because that was on Wii U, and that was they're porting everything from that over.
That'd be easy for them to do, but I don't think I would get it. It's not interesting enough for me.
Did you get New Super Mario Brothers U?
I did.
Okay.
I don't remember why. I got it to stream it, but yeah, I didn't. Oh no, I got pretty close to the end. I don't think I finished it though. Did we finish it? Because that was like one of the first games that we streamed.
I never finished it.
Well, then we never finished it.
Yeah.
But we streamed that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also comes with Super Luigi U, which I've never played. So maybe I'll get into that. What other remasters would we want or ports?
I know everybody else wants Pikmin.
Metroid Prime
Trilogy. That would be the big one.
That's got a lot of potential because we got a Metroid.
Metroid Prime hole in our life.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. Mm-hmm. But we need a new game. We need some. I mean, we could hear more about Metroid Prime 4, which I think is unlikely. We could hear more about Breath of the Wild 2.
They definitely have a new game like in the works for this year. It's just the question is if it's going to be a big game. Like, is it going to be, a Metroid or possibly even a Star Fox or a revival of, something like F-Zero, something dormant? Or is this going to be like a smaller game like Mario Golf or I
think there's
like that.
A lot of potential for Mario Golf.
Yeah.
I think that could be coming anytime soon. I think there's got to be something weird, like a Splatoon, like a new IP.
Okay.
Something completely out of left field that nobody would have expected. Also, Splatoon 3 is supposed to be happening sometime soon.
Really?
So, well, according to rumors,
Right.
So I don't know. Any of this could happen. We're just speculating here, but I believe that we would get a direct sometime within the next 2 weeks. Sure. I don't know about 2. That sounds completely weird.
Yeah.
In an indie direct, we kind of got one already.
Yeah.
In like January, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Did we get one in January?
I
Nintendo
think we did.
Indie Direct.
I remember seeing one.
There were so many Switch indie games at PAX. And you know if you saw my video. There was one in December. That was the last one, I think. Feels like just yesterday. Was that the last one? List of Nintendo Direct. I should just bookmark this page. Leave this as my homepage. Just go here all the freaking time. Let me pull it up on screen for yous. Nope. Indie World. Yep, December 10th. That was the last one. And then we got a Dragalia Lost stream. But last ones, we got Pokemon Direct. We got the Smash Brothers Byleth announcement and Fire Emblem channel. And then Animal Crossing Direct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's that. We got some super chats.
Yes.
We got
R. Dilly with $10. What's your favorite Amino? And then he sent $2 more to correct himself and say Amiibo.
My favorite Amino is the Nintendo Amino.
Yeah.
My favorite Amiibo, Captain Falcon. I have like a million of them for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know. I have all the ones I ever wanted to collect. Maybe
I like the Metroid one, the actual Metroid, because it's squishy.
It's squishy. I guess mine would be Duck Hunt Dog because I was like hunting for him forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think a fan sent that to us.
And it was it came with 3.
Yeah, because in America you can only get it with Rob and Mr. Game & Watch, and I only want a Duck Hunt Dog.
Right. M. Ska Cat with $10.
Mix Ska Cat.
Oh, okay. Pick it up. You cats are off the hizzle foo.
Thank you. We try to be as far off the hizzle as possible.
And $5 from Willow Davis, who says Splatoon, but the ink is mustard and the stage is a burger. Take your $5 back. I don't want it.
This is going to be a very hard thing for people to understand.
I know.
But unless you grew up here, you won't understand it.
You people are going to make me watch the whole beat 'em ups video where they just to find the part where they talk crap.
I guess I'm going to have to find this too.
Eric, you're going to have to clip that part out so I can put it on Twitter, by the way. Yeah. Where am I? Oh, here's some more Nintendo stuff. Yay! Reggie now works for GameStop. Things are looking rough for Reggie. Will. Yeah. He had to pick up employment at GameStop. No. Former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé joins GameStop's board of directors, which is a shock to everybody.
Yeah.
He's been appointed to GameStop's board of directors. Why is the dog barking? The dog never barks. He'll be teaming up with Bill Simon and J.K. Simnak.
Sure.
Simon has worked in retail executive roles over the past 30 years, and Symantec.
Yeah.
But there's a C. All right. Is the current president and chief executive of PetSmart. This is very weird. The mission is to make GameStop a profitable business again after the company announced the closure. Is there like an intruder? Well, you finished reading this.
All right. The mission is to make GameStop a profitable business again after the company announced the closure of more than 180 stores worldwide in 2019. Reggie shared a message over on Twitter following the announcement. The game industry needs a healthy and vibrant GameStop. I look forward to being a part of GameStop's corporate board and helping to make this happen. GameStop Chief Executive George Sherman also provided a statement. The board refresh and governance enhancements announced today represent an important milestone in GameStop's transformation as we continue to evolve the company's business strategy for long-term success. We are pleased to welcome Reggie, Bill, and JK to the board. They are each highly qualified and bring significant, relevant experience to our turnaround.
There was a guy breaking into our apartment. I just beat him up.
Nice.
So we're good now.
I can see because you're all covered in blood.
Yes. So fill me in. What happened?
Basically, Reggie made an announcement saying like, healthy GameStop is good for the industry, and then Chief Executive George Sherman said what he said.
So what is being appointed to the board? What does that do for you?
Basically,
like are they paying him?
I think he gets stock. Like he gets a lot of stock in the company.
So he gets a whole lot of nothing.
But he does get a lot of, being on the board means you do get to make a lot of decisions. Like you have a hand in making a lot of important decisions towards the future of the company. So the fact that he's now a member of that board, he can sit there and he can say, yes, GameStop should do this, or no, GameStop shouldn't do that,
Right. No, I get that.
And this is a guy who's had, experience not just in the game industry, but like, because he's also worked for Pizza Hut and Panda Express and Procter and Gamble and, places like that. So he also knows consumer-facing retail outlets. So he has experience in both.
I think he would be very good for GameStop.
Yes.
2 years ago. I think it's way too late for GameStop.
That's true.
I think he is the perfect person to help GameStop. I think you're crash landing at this point, I think it's way too late. I think GameStop, they just made so many really bad decisions. Did you know? I learned this. So, EB Games is what they're called internationally in some
Electronics
places.
Boutique, yeah.
Yeah. So, like GameStop bought EB Games, and now like in Australia and New Zealand, it's still called EB Games.
Yeah.
And I think in Canada.
Yeah.
But did you know when they bought EB Games, they closed down their major distribution center in 2005. Yes.
Did not know that.
They decided, we don't need a distribution center. What we need is 1 billion more stores. 2 in every mall, I say. Isn't that the dumbest idea? 2005. The internet was already a thing.
Yeah, no, GameStop has never been known for smart business decisions. I mean, their entire business model is built on a bad business decision. Emphasizing used games, pushing their stupid magazine, pre-order incentives, things like that. All at the expense of consumer experience and employee experience.
Yeah, they don't listen to the consumer-facing employees. Like I was saying this all on my stream last night. Like making them say like these giant long greetings, like when they pick up the phone. Hello, welcome to GameStop, where you can buy and sell used games. And today, if you trade in your Nintendo Switch, you get 10% more towards an Xbox One. This is Bob. How can I help you? Now the person doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Like, isn't that just obvious? Like, why do these people who come up with these ideas? Why do they don't think that there's going to be a problem? They don't think that asking a mom who's buying Pokemon to pre-order Animal Crossing is a problem?
They put a lot of unnecessary barriers in between the customer and the product they want to buy.
Yeah. If they're coming in to buy something, you don't want to put a barrier in place. You want to make the process as easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing with e-commerce. If you put too many pages between the product and checkout, you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it should be all obvious stuff to the people in power.
I don't want to say, it's because they can't compete with e-commerce, because there are still stores out there. Like, I went to Target today. Like, actually went to a store. Like,
wow.
Physical retail is not dead. It's just smart stores, smart businesses know how to adapt. GameStop never did. GameStop dug its feet in the ground and said, we're pretty much just going to do what we've been doing. Yeah, we'll have an online store, but who cares?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they can't compete with e-commerce.
Yeah.
They totally could. I just think they made a series of really bad decisions that didn't help the competition they had.
Right.
I think buying ThinkGeek or merging with ThinkGeek was a great idea.
Right.
Executed poorly.
Yes.
Like, ThinkGeek was an awesome website.
Yeah.
Now what happened?
I think it redirects to GameStop.
This dog's just barking at nothing, by the way.
That's all right. My kid was crying like uncontrollably just now.
Oh, guy with the hair says, dude, there were 3 in the mall by me and an EB Games across from GameStop before they closed. Yeah, I was saying
same.
There was 2 in every, because GameStop bought EB Games, there were 2 GameStops then in every mall. But some malls around us wouldn't allow them to have 2 of one store, so they would either keep the EB Games name or they would have freaking Babbage's in one of the malls by us. But they also had a GameStop directly outside of all of these malls.
Yeah. That I never understood.
Yeah, and then that GameStop would do poorly, just like the one that I worked at, which was outside of the mall.
I've got to check, because I know there's one area here where there's a Best Buy, but in the same shopping complex, across, like all the way on the other side, is a GameStop. Why would you want to go to the GameStop when you can go into the Best Buy and have a much better experience?
Yeah. I don't get why they were like, GameStop's doing so good, let's open up 1,000 more stores.
Yeah.
That's not what you do. You make the stores that you have better. You don't need 2 in every mall. There was the one in the Roosevelt Field Mall that I worked at, the big one. Yeah. And then there was the tiny one that was like only a few stores down.
Yeah. I think that was technically used to be an electronics boutique, but under EBX because it was smaller.
Oh. Well,
I think I remember that
when things started going south, they closed the big GameStop, which means they were doing very bad because they couldn't afford the real estate. All right, so that's it. I think Reggie is the best person for this task, but I think it's too late for GameStop.
Yeah.
What do I do with his dog?
Do you have a chew toy for it?
This dog has so many chew toys. It's got 1 billion chew toys. What do? Force it into its mouth?
Yeah, give that a try.
Anyway, we got our first... Oh, wait, did we get a super chat? We did. We got Sergio Arroyo with $2 who says, congrats on multiplying. Congrats on Will for multiplying.
Oh, thank you.
Will doesn't do math.
I don't. But I make babies, apparently.
But you do make babies.
Yeah.
The first Animal Crossing New Horizons review is in, and it might surprise you, Will.
Oh, why? Is it good?
It's good. But it's like astronomically good.
Really?
Yeah, I'll skip most of this. The famous publication, which has a panel of 4 reviewers. It's Famitsu. They're talking about Famitsu.
Yeah.
So Famitsu has 4 reviewers review a game, and then they each score it out of 10.
Yeah, and then they add that all up.
In the meantime, you'll just have to hear my dog bark.
All right.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
Sorry for the disconnection. Anyway, 4 reviewers, they each total out of 10, then add up the scores for a total of 40. They awarded New Horizons a 38 out of 40.
That's really good.
2 reviewers gave it a 9.
Yeah.
While the other 2 gave it a 10, which is crazy because what I played, I can't imagine being a 10. But I played a vertical slice that was barely anything.
Yeah.
That's clearly an incredible score, but it means New Horizons narrowly misses out on the coveted perfect score, which Famitsu has granted to just 26 games in its entire history.
Mm-hmm.
These games include the likes of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Smash Brothers Brawl, which is not a perfect game.
No.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Why? And Kid Icarus Uprising.
Definitely not.
Kid Icarus Uprising was not a perfect score. It's also worth noting that Animal Crossing New Leaf was awarded a 39 out of 40 when it was reviewed by Famitsu. Just saying.
All right, so it's not as good as New Leaf is what they're saying.
Yeah, that is what they're saying.
Well, still, 38 is respectable.
Amazing.
Yeah.
38's amazing.
Yeah.
And 4 reviewers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to attempt to shut this dog up.
All right.
You do something.
I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think. I mean, what do I got to say about Animal Crossing? I barely played the one on GameCube because we rented it from Blockbuster Video. Only 90s kids will remember that. And you need a full empty memory card for it. We didn't have that. So, what do I care? I am much more interested in like the Doom crossovers on Twitter with Animal Crossing. Those are really funny. And if they don't put like a what's her face? Whatever the girl's name is, if they don't put her in Doom on Switch as like a little Easter egg, that's a missed opportunity right there. Come on, guys, help me out here. What do we got? Oh, thank you, Beth Ann Oxendale with 279. Will, check out Amazon for Euro imports of Duck Hunt Dog, $20. I mean, I have one already. I don't know if I would want to check it out. I mean, $20 is not bad for an old Amiibo. It really sucks that they don't reprint like old Amiibo, because I guarantee you someone's going to want Mario who didn't have them back in the day, but you can't walk into, your local store and just buy them. So they really need to make old Amiibo much more easily accessible. What else? Charles Quackenbush. Will, I'm about to send away my Joy-Cons. Do you know how long it takes? I don't remember the exact time, but I remember it being pretty quick, like maybe a week or two. They're pretty good about like, once you send it out, you'll get it back in time to play whatever you want to play.
They do reprint old Amiibo, but not all of them.
Yeah.
It's rare for them to reprint Amiibo.
Yeah.
They reprint the ones that have demand. Like I haven't seen Sonic in a while,
Right. Yeah, I'm sure like, the main Nintendo characters and stuff, but
Super Saiyan says, tell Bob to let the dog in the room. I can't. The dog came in this room for 1 second yesterday.
Yeah.
Beelined it to a Mario plushie that I had and ran out of the room.
That's his now.
But I can't let it, if I leave it in here, it will bark again to try to get out of this room.
Yeah.
And I can't leave it out there because it will eat the entire table. Because it eats literally everything.
Yeah.
When I take it for a walk, it eats every single thing it sees on the street. Everything.
You gotta
like a paper, like a cup.
Yeah.
Another dog's poop. It eats every single thing.
You gotta bring like
cigarette
a spray bottle
butts.
of water and just like spritz it every time it's gonna eat something.
I just look at the floor and every time it goes to sniff something, I lift it up by the by the harness. It's hard. This dog is it's a dumb dog.
Yeah.
And I met a guy on the street before who was he had some accent. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Oh, I have a dog just like that." Super smart dogs. Very intelligent. And I was like, "Oh, not this one." Yeah. This one is very dumb. Anyway, does it have a bone? It does have a bone. What it needs is its owner to come home. That's what it needs. Where am I? We talked about Animal Crossing. Great score. Beautiful score. Can't wait to play it. Doesn't come out for another week. I can't imagine it being that perfect of a game.
I mean, I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, like, the reason why I got that score is because, it does exactly what an Animal Crossing needs to do, and it does it in a very good, refined way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would not compare this to, like, a Zelda or a Metal Gear or something like that, but I'm sure, like, that score has that score because when it comes to Animal Crossing, this is one of the top tier Animal Crossing games.
Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't need to be as big and as grandiose as something like a Skyrim or a Zelda or a Mario Odyssey even. But it does need to be a good game.
Yeah.
It needs to be a perfect game. You know what I mean? But this is the same publication that gave Kid Icarus Uprising a perfect score. So I don't know about that.
True. Well, nobody's perfect.
But we'll have to see. I mean, I believe it. I believe that it's an amazing game.
Yeah.
I just need to play a lot more of it. Will, did you read all the super chats?
Yeah.
Beth Ann Oxendale?
Yes.
Okay. I played Call of Duty Warzone. Do you know about this game?
Yeah, I know about it. I didn't play it. So why don't you talk about it while I mute the microphone and have a...
Oh, okay. He said have a snack. I think he muted it too quickly. I'm going to play the trailer too. So, last year... Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago? Black Ops 4 had a Battle Royale mode. And it was good. I liked it a lot. It might have been my favorite Battle Royale mode. The only problem was it cost $60 and it was part of Black Ops 4. I think that was a big mistake because all these other Battle Royales are free. Now we got a free Call of Duty Battle Royale. It's called Warzone. It is very good. I only played 2 rounds, but I liked what I played. The time to kill is a little long, especially for a Call of Duty game. And I had a similar problem in Black Ops 4, but I think they kind of tweaked it after a while. What was really cool is that my loadout from Modern Warfare on PS4, my loadout from there automatically transferred to Warzone on my Xbox. I guess it automatically logged into my what's it called, my Activision account.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because you can play, cross-platform play.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked by that. To take my stuff over, that was really cool. So it's 150 people, which is bigger than a lot of the other battle royales.
Right.
So that's already cool. It has one weird mechanic though, where there's kind of like a loser's bracket. So if you get killed, you have an opportunity to come back. They send you to the gulags. And in the gulags, you do a 1v1 battle with another person that died. And I think they give you a random gun. I got a pistol, and one time I got a shotgun. Maybe it is just I don't know. I got a pistol the last time I played. Yeah, you just 1v1 another dude in this like really small arena situation, and if you win, you come right back into the game. You parachute down, which is awesome. There's another mechanic where other games implement this. I think Apex Legends was the first to do it. You can revive your teammates. If one of them dies, but you keep going, you can go to like a certain point and revive your teammate, and he'll come down. He'll get like relaunched into the game. In this, though, you go to a specific buying area where you can buy like weapons or loadouts or stuff. You can buy your partner back.
Interesting.
It's with cash that you can get in the game. I don't know how the microtransactions work. I don't know if you can just buy a bunch of in-game cash.
I'm sure there's an option. Or if it's not, it's coming soon.
That would kind of break the game a little bit because like last night, the second round I played with 2 other people. That's another thing. The first round I played alone, which was awesome. The second round I played with 2 other people. I would rather play alone, and I don't know if you could do a single player queue. But I was with 2 other people. Only one of us was kind of cooperating. Only 2 of us were kind of cooperating together. The third guy was off doing his own thing. But then we were getting towards the end of the match. So I was like, I want to revive this guy, but I didn't have enough money. So then I started looking for money because you could just find cash in certain buildings. Yeah. And then I found enough cash, so I revived the guy because I figured that's the best chance we have is having a third guy. And then he came after like 15 minutes of being dead. He came back, and he wasn't much help. But like part of the game that I was playing was finding the cash to bring that guy back.
Right.
So if I had microtransactions to buy up all the cash, that might be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think you get a lot of cash for ranking high in matches.
Yeah.
So will it be pay to win? Says K can't. I don't know. It might be. I think there needs to be a single queue, so you can a solo queue, so you can play alone. But it's really fun. I like Call of Duty's mechanics the best. That's why I like Apex Legends, but I'd rather it be in the Call of Duty world with the Call of Duty weapons. I need to play it with friends. I'm gonna play it more. It's really fun. It also has the Apex Legends style like ping mechanics where you can ping stuff.
Yeah.
So you can be like, hey man, there's a shotgun here, and I did that. I was like pinging stuff, and my partner came over, got it, and then teabagged to be like, thanks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Here's something I was curious about, and I looked this up on the official website. For Modern Warfare owners who currently have the most recent title updates, the download of Warzone will be 18 to 22 gigabytes. For non-owners of the full version of Modern Warfare, Warzone will be available to download free, and it will be 80 to 101 gigabytes.
So have you played Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
The new one.
Yeah. The one from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 200 gigs now.
Yeah, it's it's insanely big.
I need to delete that off my Xbox because I haven't touched it since I beat the single player campaign, and all it does is update, and it updates like 15 gigs at a time.
Yeah, so it started out with a 100 gig update or something, and now it's up to like 200. It's insane. I ended up deleting it off I got it for PS4 because my friends got it for PS4.
Yeah.
But then I ended up deleting it because it took up too much room, and I needed room for friggin' something else, probably Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So I got Warzone for my Xbox because I have more room on there, and I'd rather use an Xbox controller anyway.
Yeah.
I was trying to download it on stream last night so I could play it on stream, but it ended up taking too long. And people were saying, if I had Modern Warfare, it would be quicker, but I had it on PS4 and I deleted it. So if you have Modern Warfare, it's a quick download. If you don't, it's going to be a while. And it's going to take up a lot of real estate on your hard drive.
Yeah.
But if you like Battle Royales, it's a very good Battle Royale. I need to play it with some friends to have an even better time.
Mm-hmm.
I might play like a round or two tonight just to see. But I recommend it. Again, it's free. So why not?
Yeah.
And there's like a little tutorial in the beginning. So if you're going to play with friends, make sure you get that out of the way.
Right.
You can plow through it. It's all you really need to know from the tutorial is you can put armor inside of your like chest plate by holding down Y. So when you pick up armor, you got to hold down Y to put the armor in. And you can ping stuff. That's really all you need to know. And the time to kill is really high. If you have like a Dragunov sniper rifle, you got to shoot somebody in the head like 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, Juan R with $5 says, "Keep up the good work, Wulff Bros." Thanks, man.
We will. Thank you.
Guy with the hair with $5. Here's some news for you both. Nintendo New York City is not having a midnight launch for Animal Crossing next week. Thoughts? I have this confirmed.
Breaking news. All right, I'll still go to bed like I usually do.
All right, so I don't really care because I'm going to get it digitally.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he cares because he wanted to cover it.
Right.
And I want to be able to stream at midnight, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want to go to like a midnight launch. What I care about is getting the Animal Crossing Switch this Friday because I want to get it early in the morning and then film and have a video out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a pain in the ass. I don't even know if I'm going to get one.
Right.
So. Oh, AJ says, play it with the Wizard. I got to play Call of Duty with the Wizard. Do you know who the Wizard is?
What's the Wizard?
Greg. Greg's the Wizard. Well, I hear your baby crying. You should get a water bottle and spray it in the face.
Not how that works, apparently.
All right, moving on. We got more stuff. These are quick, though. We can plow through these, I think.
Okay.
Nintendo PlayStation sells at auction. Will, did we talk about this?
We talked about it when the auction started, not after it finished.
Wait. Oh, okay. So we talked about it when it started. Then we talked about it because it got up to 300,000.
Right.
And the guy from Oculus was talking about how he was the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Now it's done. It's over.
Yes.
$360,000, which is interesting for two reasons. One, I said 300,000, so pound it, dude.
Yeah,
nailed it. Friggin' industry analyst Bob Wulff over here. Anyway, the other reason is that we know who got it.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait. The other reason is that they got an offer for $1 million and turned it down because they thought they could get more at auction. So they got a little screwed there.
Yeah.
And the third reason is we know who bought it. And I don't think this article says who bought it, but it's the guy who sold pets.com to Amazon.
Yes.
Can you figure out his name?
Hold on.
He made a lot of money from that, and he claims to be starting a retro game museum. But I mean, everybody wants to start a freaking retro game museum.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kotaku says a prototype of the never-produced video game machine, colloquially, why? I know this word. Colloquially known as the Nintendo PlayStation, has sold at auction for $360,000, setting a new record for the most expensive item of video game memorabilia ever publicly sold.
The buyer of the Nintendo PlayStation prototype is Greg McLemore, an entrepreneur best known for starting the turn-of-the-century tech bubble bust Pets.com.
It's not Macklemore?
It's McLemore. McLemore. 51 has spent 20 years assembling a collection of rare and vintage video games and arcade amusement machines. 2015 profile in the Rob Report noted that he made his first purchase shortly after selling 50% of Pets.com to Amazon and turning the company over to a new CEO.
Now, if you go to Pets.com, it goes to PetSmart.
Yes.
Wait, he sold to Amazon, right?
Yes, but PetSmart probably bought the domain name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Amazon doesn't need that.
Yeah.
That'd be weird if you went to pets.com and it took you to amazon.com.
Yeah. McLemore said that the purchase was inexpensive when compared to recent auctions, like a mint condition copy of Super Mario Brothers, which sold for $100,000. I mean, technically, yeah, you're getting a system for around the same price of a video game.
I think game collecting is in a weird spot. Like, I mean, yeah, there's like things that sell for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But this is the holy grail, man.
This
There's
is a much
one
bigger
of
deal.
these. This should be a cool million.
Yeah. This is because this is not a mass-produced thing.
There is a one.
This is a relic of a partnership between the two biggest video game publishers that did not happen.
And this started the PlayStation line.
It started the PlayStation, and it also started the potential downfall of Nintendo from, the dominating force of 80s video games to basically where they are today.
This is like one of the most important physical pieces of gaming history.
Yeah.
And it only sold for $360,000. That's insane. Remember when it was $15,000 and I was like, how do I pull some money together?
Yeah.
It's like a little sad, but I mean, I'm sure comic book collecting must have been there at one point. Like, how much did the first appearance of Superman go for like 30 years ago? How much did that cost?
30 years ago? It was probably like several thousand, like tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like $1 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the holy grail. So like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, this might go for over $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, video game collecting's in a very weird spot.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to read much more of this article. There's really nothing
No.
else to say. But if you don't know, the system has a CD-ROM drive. It could also... I don't know anything that actually works in that CD-ROM drive.
There was like a demo disc or something, like a dev disc. That
I thought it was a game
that does work.
I thought it was a cartridge.
Well, there is a cartridge, and
Right.
the cartridge slot does work. It does play Super Famicom games.
But the dev cart... I thought it was a dev cartridge. I didn't know that there was a dev disc.
Yeah, there's a dev disc.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do we know what game is on there?
It's some unreleased game.
Then how come there's like no footage of that? That's like such an important thing.
Hang on.
that's like they're like what we need. And so the people who previously owned this took it around to like conventions and stuff and just let people play with it.
Yeah.
So there should be some footage of that. And let me come over there, wherever you are. I'll fly wherever you are.
Yeah.
And let me get some freaking screen capture of it at the highest resolution possible. Please, for the love of God. The world needs to see it. Also, I was watching Guy with the Hair's video on this. Let me keep plugging away his stuff.
Yeah.
And he brought up what the back of the console looks like.
Yeah, it's like some weird mix between a Super Nintendo and a first generation PlayStation 1.
Guy with the hair, you gotta friggin' change your name. Your SEO is very bad. Or just upload more videos. So yeah, there's an interesting port in the back. So yeah, it's got the same sort of output, the multi-out that the Super Nintendo has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the power cable's like. This is giving me dev unit vibes because it also has an S video out. Yeah. And it has the RCA out.
Well, that's what I mean, because the very first PlayStation, the very first generation of PlayStation 1s had that.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
The very first production run had that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then on the left side, there's this other port called Next. And it's weird looking.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks this is some sort of dev tool.
Yeah.
I think, here's my theory. Here's my theory, Crafton Will.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Next. I think that's for Next computers. Next computers were used to develop id Software games.
The Next computer is the Steve Jobs computer company before he went back to Apple.
Yes. At the same time that this was coming out, they were being used as dev computers for id Software and some other game companies. I think Next computers were being marketed as like game development tools. So that's what I think that this port is. Something to do with that.
Hmm.
Also, I think Next computers use Sony disk drives, but that's the only thing I could see that had some sort of connection between Next and Sony. So like maybe PlayStation or Sony thought, these are going to be the next generation of development tools, so we should get something going between this. But that port looks so weird. I don't know what it could possibly be. All right. So there you go. Chances are looking a lot slimmer that we'll ever get our hands on a Nintendo PlayStation.
Yeah. Unless they put it in a museum and we can,
What they should do is put it in a museum. They should put it in a glass case. Mm-hmm. They should have a connector that goes from the console to the glass case and then have a regular Super Nintendo controller connect to that.
Yes.
Like a dongle. Yeah. So that you can't like mess it up. Like a breakaway cable is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And let people play it.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, they break the Super Nintendo controller and you just get a new one.
Yeah.
But did you see any footage of the unreleased game?
So it looks like it was a homebrew game.
Oh, so
like it was it was specifically designed for that.
So like it's not an actual Sony.
It's not an actual, yeah.
If somebody made it,
yeah,
after the fact. Okay. Mm. All right. Let's move on.
All right. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have been tested positive for coronavirus.
That's not true.
That it is actually.
Who? Tom Hanks and who?
Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson.
What were they doing?
They were filming a movie, and on the set of the movie, in Australia, apparently they got infected.
My God, man, stay home.
Yeah, I know.
I've been pooping a lot.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We got some super chats.
We do have some super chats,
yeah. Julian Trupe with $2 who says, y'all gonna talk about Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 or new Ori? I'm not gonna talk about the new Ori. I haven't played it, and the first one was good, but I'm not on the hype train.
Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 looks cool. Looks like, if you like Spawn, definitely get him for that. He's voiced by Keith David, who did the voice in the animated series, and he's perfect. I've seen more about the McFarlane toy that they're making for Mortal Kombat 11 of Spawn than I have about Spawn being in the game proper.
I would play the video, but I feel like I'm gonna get dinged for that.
It is a damn nice toy. I will say that. I'm tempted to pick one up myself. I'm actually waiting because at Toy Fair they showed off McFarlane Spawn that they're going to kickstart. Haven't said when the Kickstart is going to happen.
That's true. I saw that.
Yeah.
He looks way OP but I guess every time they show like a fighting game character, they show
all his special moves. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a lot of like really ranged attacks and stuff though.
Yeah.
You can like do a lot from the other side of the arena. Garcia 411 with $3. First time watching the stream. You guys actually bros? We're married.
Yeah.
We still live in separate houses.
Yeah. Also, we're related by blood, so it makes things complicated.
Yeah, it makes things really complicated. The society looks down on us.
Yeah.
Where am I at?
Judge rejects Nintendo's request to dismiss Joy-Con drift lawsuit.
Sure. I put an IGN article in here, IGN UK for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I should just put Nintendo Life. I hate every other website. A federal judge has denied Nintendo's request to dismiss the class action lawsuit over the drift problem found with the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. Top Class Actions reports that U.S. District Judge Thomas S. Zilli rejected Nintendo's dismissal request, but did agree to have the case handled in arbitration for now. That means the issue will be resolved outside of the courts by a neutral party known as an arbitrator. However, Judge Zilli has only put the case on hold until the arbitrator comes to a decision. Once a decision has been made, the case could still return to the courts. Nintendo and the customers trying to sue the company have to report the outcome of the arbitration to the courts 14 days after a decision has been made, or by December 31st, 2020, whichever comes first. So there is a class action lawsuit against Nintendo because of the Joy-Con drift problem. Because basically, I don't know what the percentage is, but basically it's inevitable that if you use your Joy-Con a lot, it's going to start to experience drift.
Yeah.
I actually started to get a little drift on my Xbox controller.
Really?
Yeah. So in Call of Duty, like the right stick wasn't moving my character, but when I pull up the menu, it would move the little cursor. It was very weird. It was very weird.
I've had problems with like my D-pad sometimes
on Xbox.
Yeah, but not the analog sticks.
What's wrong with the D-pad?
Sometimes like I'll click it and like it won't register immediately, or sometimes like I'll click it and it'll register too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't happen all the time, and I don't use the D-pad that often.
Well,
that's with my original controller. I haven't tried it with my blue controller that I got around Christmas.
You got drift on your Switch.
Yes.
And you sent it back?
Yeah. Someone asked me about that. I sent it back, and they sent it back real quick.
It was within like a week, right?
A week or two, yeah.
So I have never experienced drift, but I also almost never use Joy-Con.
Right.
So I can't relate. I don't know what the percentage of failure is. Like Xbox 360, almost 100% you're going to get a red ring of death if you have the original Xbox 360. And I don't think there was a class action lawsuit against them. They slid that under the rug pretty well.
Yeah.
It had a 50% failure rate for a lot of the Xbox lifespan, and then after as they all started to get older, it went up to like 90. But by then the Xbox One was already out and people stopped caring.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, everyone's like, hey, let's sue the pants off of them.
Right.
You gonna get in on that lawsuit, Will?
We'll see. I'll probably get like $1 from it, if anything.
I don't know anything about how these class action lawsuits work. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if they're gonna have to pay a lot of money.
Really, all class action lawsuits do is they make the company realize they did something wrong, and they have to fix it by law. Really, like, you don't get a lot of money from it. You will get like $1 at most. The money all goes to the lawyers who successfully, fought in court to get the case heard.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe future units will be fixed, but I don't.
Yes, that's the thing. Future units would have to be fixed, or they would have to, keep offering their free repair service.
Yeah, the repair service is free. So, AJ says, I had drift on multiple sets of Joy-Con. This current set is fine. I don't. That's another thing. Like, when they fix it, I don't know if they're fixing it with a better joystick.
I don't know.
Because when people do the tear downs, it looks exactly the same. So I don't know what the outcome is going to be for that.
Yeah.
Next, we got. Let's plow through these. These are easy. Shigeru Miyamoto approves of people uploading gameplay videos. So Nintendo
doesn't like it.
Nintendo famously doesn't like when people upload gameplay videos. They've since, so they had a program where if you partner with them, you're allowed to, but they keep like 30% of your revenue or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then they backed off on that plan, and now Miyamoto's saying something a little different in a Famitsu interview. He says, I think it's good that there's a variety of ways to enjoy things. I think so too.
Yeah.
In the ROM era, we preferred to have customers play for a long time with materials created with very minuscule memory without publicizing them. At that time, it would be problematic if the whole game content were to be revealed. But it is now an era where customers that bought the games publish videos broadly, and I think that may pique interest about those games to other people who watch it. I think I would also watch walkthrough videos of games made by someone else. Honestly, I don't want to watch my own games, but if it's made by someone else, it should still be okay. So he's saying, feel free to take gameplay videos. He's saying that we're in a different time now.
Absolutely.
And it's okay now, and it wouldn't have been okay back then. Because, and I get it, like in the NES era, you don't want to see the end of the game. You want to be able to achieve that, Like seeing Samus as a girl, like you're like, whoa, man, it's crazy. I never knew that. And then you tell the kids on the schoolyard, did you know Samus is a girl? You see it at the end. They're like, you never beat it. You're just making stuff up. But these days, that stuff gets ruined for you online. But, I mean, you want to see a walkthrough, too? Like, I look up walkthroughs and stuff.
That's my favorite. Like, I always look up walkthroughs on YouTube if I'm, like, stuck or something.
Yeah. Like
it's often better than looking up, like, a wiki guide because you can actually see how to go through it.
Yeah, like, that's how I figured out some things in World of Light. That's how I figured out how to get Captain Falcon immediately. That's how I figured out where some of the shrines were in Breath of the Wild or the Divine Beasts. I think it was a necessary change. And now with the multiplayer games, which is something that Nintendo isn't, it's like not really a Nintendo thing. You want to be able to watch people play it because it's fun to watch people play that stuff. I mean, the only thing that Nintendo has that's like a good stream game is Mario Maker, and maybe Breath of the Wild, but more so Mario Maker because it's always different. There's always something going on. So that's the era we're in now, where we have games that make good content for streaming and for Let's Plays and stuff.
Yeah.
And people are developing games specifically for that reason. Nintendo's still kind of just doing their own thing, but they gotta change with the times, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin McDermott in the chat says, wrong! I don't know why. Well, this one's here for you.
What did I do?
2K Sports is making NFL games again, but there's a pretty big catch.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of the NFL, then you're probably familiar with EA's stupid-ass Madden series, my words, which has been the only game in town for what feels like forever. Sadly, EA series has skipped the Switch entirely, which means unless you have a PS4 or Xbox One, you're missing out on that lovely gridiron action. It wasn't always this way, though. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, there were several challengers which all benefited from the official NFL license, meaning a lot more variety across all hardware platforms. One of those franchises was the superb NFL 2K series, which began life on the Sega Dreamcast. It lasted up until ESPN NFL 2K5 in 2004, after which point EA locked down the NFL license deal and prevented any other company from using it, which is where we are today. Things are about to change, however. 2K Sports has announced that it has inked a new deal, a multi-year deal with the NFL that will allow it to produce multiple future video games based on the sport, all backed by the official NFL license. Before you get too excited, however, it's worth noting that the deal only covers non-simulation football game experiences, which means that NFL 2K Revival isn't on the cards. Instead, multiple video games centered on fun, approachable, and social experiences are the order of the day, hinting that we could see arcade-style titles like NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 or NFL Blitz. Given the casual, lighthearted nature of these games and 2K's historic support of the console, you'd have to imagine that they come to the Switch. So it is a very big deal that the NFL is letting another developer have its license. Because since 2005, EA has been the only game in town.
I wonder if Madden hasn't been doing good.
I don't know, because it's the only game in town, it's been fairly consistent in terms of like sales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nowhere else to turn. 2K tried once to put out a football game without the NFL license. It was called All Pro Football 2K8. It didn't sell very well, but it got some good reviews because it had a lot of unique things in it that Madden wouldn't put in for a couple of years. But now that somebody else has their hand on the NFL license, that's good because we'll have different types of games. We'll have different variety out there. Because I don't know about you, I don't personally like simulation style sports games. I much more prefer NFL Blitz.
Well, we don't care about the roster,
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people who do.
Yeah,
and that's why they buy
fine.
Madden every
but
year.
If that's the only thing you're allowed to play,
yeah,
that's boring as hell. It doesn't help that the NFL, when EA tried to bring NFL Blitz back, the NFL put all these rules in place. You can't pile drive the guy. You can't do end zone dances and stuff. They neutered it basically.
So the NFL had to do that because it already gets a lot of crap for being too violent.
Yeah.
So they're like, listen, if you're gonna, we're already giving people major brain injuries. We can't have you pile drive the other team. Also, they have their own rules about celebrations in the end zone.
Yeah.
How do you know so much about NFL games? You don't play them.
I know so much about this era.
Okay.
Because it was very fascinating. So because there's a whole story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is because you had NFL 2K and Madden during that generation of console, PS2, original Xbox, and GameCube. And they were sort of ping pong back and forth. Madden was always up top and 2K was always right below them. And then, but 2K was always the better reviewed game, but Madden was the better seller. And then in 2004, they put out Madden 05, same ass Madden game as every year. And then NFL ESPN 2K5 came out for $20 and was, reviewed just as well, if not better, than all the previous 2K games. Many people to this day consider it the best football game ever made. And because it was only $20, it outsold Madden by leaps and bounds. Everybody was buying that game. So to compete, EA went to the NFL, threw all the money at them, and bought the rights to the exclusive rights to the NFL contract.
Somebody needs to stop E3, EA.
Yeah.
E3 and EA.
Yeah. So it's fascinating to me. That story has always been fascinating to me.
Really, 2K was the only competition for EA.
At the time, yeah.
Well, it's the only one that could actually compete.
Yeah. If you want to get technical, Midway was still around at the time, so they were making NFL Blitz, but it wasn't the same thing as ESPN and 2K and Madden.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We got $2 from Dante Mirror. Says, "Hello, Bob. Here's my late fee. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody else pay up."
Yeah.
We got last thing here is
All
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC, and people are mad about it.
Yeah. So real quick, I won't even click on the articles. Just pop through it. So Sony announced that Horizon Zero Dawn, one of their PlayStation exclusives from 3 years ago, is coming to PC. You'll be able to play it on your PC. I think you can get it through Steam. That's cool. If you don't own
we already knew this was happening.
It was rumored. We knew Death Stranding was coming.
Okay.
We knew Death Stranding was coming, and we knew that I think Detroit Become Human was coming, but not Horizon. Horizon's became one of their top tier exclusives. So this coming to the PC is a big deal. However, if these ads would disappear, I can read the article. People are not happy about this.
This is the tweet that they have is awesome. So Gorilla says it's confirmed Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition is coming to PC. We're excited for more players. We'll be able to meet Aloy and explore the world, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody tweeted, AP99 tweeted, "Great way to spend my birthday. Thanks for effing nothing, PlayStation and Gorilla and whatever. Decades thrown away, and now it was all for nothing." And it's like a wrecked roof. He threw his freaking desk over.
I mean, that's not the only one. There are other people tweeting this is BS. How the hell can they do this?
That's clearly a joke.
I don't think it is.
I think it is. There's no way he did that to his room like that. There's no way he did that.
I would not be surprised if he did. All right, this might not be a good example, but if you go on Twitter right now, you will see a lot of people complaining that they're bringing Horizon Zero Dawn to PC.
Yeah, no. I know that people are genuinely mad.
Yeah,
because I did see some of that.
It's fascinating to me because when Cuphead came to the Switch, nobody cared. When Microsoft started putting all their games,
people were excited.
Yeah, when Microsoft started putting all their games on PC, nobody cared. Now you have, the possibility of The Last of Us coming to PC and Spider-Man coming to PC, and everybody's pissed off.
Actually, hold on. This guy, before he tweeted that desk flip video, he MLB The Show announced something.
Oh, that's going to be multi-platform.
Yeah, but they announced something else.
Yeah.
Play MLB The Show 4 days earlier than everybody else. Oh, with the pre-order. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Well, he tweeted, "Wow, what an crappy practice. With MLB The Show going multi-plat next year, we can expect more pathetic, greedy practices like this to infest the franchise. I'm sorry for all the longtime MLB The Show supporters on PlayStation that the game will be ruined and end up like 2K or FIFA." So maybe this guy is serious, but
yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine him actually doing this to his room. Seeing Gorilla make that announcement and then just flipping your whole desk.
Yeah.
How could one seriously have that reaction?
Here's another one. He said, when somebody says the PS5 will have exclusives, they're not going to do a Microsoft style approach. This is BS PR Phil Spencer like talk. I'm not falling for it. Nobody should. Once Horizon sells like hotcakes on PC, if PC gamers don't pirate it, that's it. The future of PlayStation, all consoles, is a lack of identity and games everywhere.
I don't know if this is a satire account. I can't tell.
It's
this parody account right in the title. All right, all right, we're good.
Never mind.
We figured it out. We're good. We really got to the bottom of that one.
Yeah, hard-hitting journalism right here at Wulff Den Live.
But anyway, yeah, just because one cons... Is there anybody in the chat that's genuinely upset when an exclusive game goes multi-platform?
I don't think so, because we mostly have normal, well-adjusted people watching this show.
I bought an Xbox partially to play what's it called? Cuphead.
Yeah.
And then that went multi-platform and I wasn't upset.
Pians. Interesting name. Spider-Man for PC. I would do unspeakable things. So there you go.
I would do unspeakable things. What if it... Oh, to get it or if it went there?
To get it, I guess.
I don't know. People are weird.
Yeah.
People are very weird. Anyway, that's it. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
We can now do the tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week! Tweet of the week! Tweet of the week!
And it is J Fresh Splat who says, "Ah yes, Saturdays are made for dads." And it's the Smash Brothers stage and Dad's car. If you don't get the reference,
I get the reference.
I know you do. I can't play the video. Here it is. There's a Twitter account called "Ah Yes, Saturdays Are Made for Dads," and it's the freaking every Saturday it just plays this video from Dexter's Lab, and I don't want to play the video because we'll get dinged. But it just look it up on Twitter. Ah yes, Saturdays are made for dads.
Good stuff.
I did a quote tweet because the car show got canceled. Will, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you gonna be all right?
I'll be fine. I didn't go last year, and I'm a little upset about that. But
I quote tweeted and said, "Oh no, what are all of our dads gonna do now?" And somebody commented, "Do you know that are you saying that cars are only for dads?" And I say, "Yeah, only dads can drive." I should have linked that video.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now is when we talk to you people.
Yes, as always, you can reach us on Twitter using the hashtag WolfDenLive. If you left a comment on last week's WolfDenLive, this is the part of the show where we will finally answer you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen watching us at home, please start leaving your questions and comments because we will get to them when we are done with everybody else. We are running late, so that's why my brain is fried.
Yes. Oh, I didn't open Discord. Everything's
Oh, great.
Carl in chat says, "I don't know, I'm not like crying, but if PlayStation exclusives all start coming to PC, then I'm over here thinking, why did I even buy a PlayStation 4 when I could have just sunk money into souping up my PC?" Well, here's the thing, my guy.
That requires a lot of time and money, and you don't have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also more expensive to get a gaming PC, but the PS5's almost out. The PlayStation 4's generation is almost over. So you didn't spend your money on a PS4 for no reason. Now, knowing that these games might eventually come to PC, you can use that in your decision to buy a PS5. Maybe you won't buy a PS5. Maybe you'll just soup up your computer.
But also, too, just because a couple of games are going doesn't necessarily mean every game is going. They haven't said every game is going.
And it doesn't mean it's going to do it at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think there's still going to be launch exclusives on PlayStation. But you can kind of assume, like, especially because Death Stranding went to PC, you can assume that after a year, it might end up on PC. So use that in your decision whether or not to buy a PS5. I think you should just still buy a PS5. On Twitter, we got Coco who says, after using the hashtag WolfDenLive, we got Coco who says, after so many great videos on your channel, I grabbed an SM30. The D-pad on this registers like a stick, so it does everything in Link's Awakening except map zoom. What? Mine does not do that.
That's interesting.
Unless I need to do some testing.
Wait, isn't the SM30 just the regular one without an analog stick?
Correct.
That might be why.
Yeah, I need to test that. I need to. Do I have one here? Well,
Yeah.
I could get one. Yeah, I need to test that. I did not know that that's a thing. I thought the 8-bit do light was the only one that did that. Brian Hamilton says, if you could have one console exclusive for the PS4 or Xbox One magically ported to the Switch, which game would you choose? See, the Xbox don't have too many.
Right.
Oh, Death Stranding, because I want to play that
Yeah.
now. I would play that a lot more if it was for the Switch.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Horizon would be a good Switch game.
Horizon would, yeah, it definitely would.
I bought Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't touched it yet. I feel like if it was on the Switch, I'd at least play a little bit of it.
Why is Call of Duty Warzone not on the Switch?
Why is no Call of Duty on the Switch?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
That does not make sense to me.
Jordan Rand, hey Wulff Bros, is Mario Odyssey a game that can be picked up for an hour or so and still feel like you accomplished something? Some open world games can feel like you get nothing done. Also, Will, love your dad's tweet about you being the Wolf Man. Love you guys. What's that about?
I have no idea. I don't. My dad tweets so much at us.
You muted him. I don't know that tweet.
I'll find it. I would say Mario Odyssey absolutely is, because even though it's open world, there's always a sense that because there are moons everywhere.
There's 999 moons, technically like 700 and something, but still.
Yeah.
And so you could always get a moon. If you pick up the game for an hour, you could probably get a few moons in that time. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's definitely worth it. It's definitely a game you could pick up for a little bit and put down immediately whenever you need to. It saves progress all the time.
Yeah.
And then Fred linked a tweet. He says, "Hey Will, thank you for linking a tweet with a picture because then I can pull it up easy. Hey Will, my father is looking into selling a bunch of his old comics from the 80s like this. He thinks he going to make a lot of money. I'm a little less optimistic than him. Where or how should he go about doing that? I see that Wolverine."
Yeah, that Frank Miller and Chris Claremont Wolverine, the black suit Spider-Man, that can get a decent chunk of change. If that's a decent condition, Walt Simonson Thor, you might be able to get some money for that because that looks like an early Beta Ray Bill appearance.
It's signed.
Oh, that's even better. What I would suggest is you go to this website, mycomicshop.com, search for these comics and see what they're generally fetching for. Not graded and not mint.
Yeah,
you like very fine.
You do not have 10s.
Yeah.
And
absolutely not.
It's impossible to get a 10 basically. But these do look like they're in pretty good condition.
Yeah, they look like they're in good condition. So you could probably get a good amount of money for it.
If they're in good condition, assume that they're like a 7, which would be like very good condition.
Even 6, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely go to mycomicshop.com and compare what they have to what you have. Use that as your base. And then I would say maybe eBay or like Facebook Marketplace might be your best bet. Depending on, whether you want to keep local or whether you're willing to ship them out to people. You can go to comic book stores and like offer to sell them to them, but you're running the risk of not making as much money as you would trying to sell it on your own. Also, I highly recommend selling them in lots. Like, don't just sell the individual comics. Try to sell them in groups.
If you have a lot of stuff that's not worth a lot of money.
Especially that, yeah.
Yeah, and you want to just get rid of all of it.
Yeah, because that Amazing Spider-Man, you could probably sell on its own, but the Thor stuff, you probably have to sell together.
Yeah, if one thing's gonna catch you a pretty penny, sell that on its own.
Yeah.
Also, make sure they're not reprints.
Yeah.
Because you might think you have something good, and then you find out it's a reprint.
Mm-hmm.
Last week's Wolf Den Live. We got 7 who says, best thing about having a job again is the Thursday morning commute with you guys. Stay beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for listening on your Thursday morning. 7. Hope you're having a good commute. Ken Thomas says, Bob, you basically just came back from a hotbed for coronavirus transmission and not a good idea. What do you want me to do, man? I don't leave the house anyway. So
yeah.
I'm basically quarantined. Scott Slater says, some bad takes here. Well, I wonder what we talked about. M+R, I guess this is Mario and Rabbids, is a top-selling game and many love it. Ring Fit Adventure is almost always sold out and another top-selling game. What did we say about those games?
We were talking about the 3-year anniversary of the Switch, right?
Yeah.
I think we're talking about like
I
milestone
think I just
games.
didn't say that they were milestones.
Yeah.
And I still don't think they're milestones. Just because they're good and a lot of people bought them doesn't mean it's like a
right
groundbreaking thing for the Switch, you know? But I didn't like Mario plus Rabbids. But Ring Fit Adventure was great. And a lot of people liked Mario plus Rabbids. I'm just saying it wasn't like the system seller, you know?
Right.
Trevor Grover, Will, Sonic Forces was total trash. Don't defend it. I don't think you were defending it.
I was trying to just make the case that it's not as bad as Bob says it is.
No, you're trying to say it's not as bad as Sonic 06.
Correct.
It's still... Well, I had to pull it out of you to say that it was bad.
It's not trash. It's just poorly recycled.
It's bad. You won't say that it's bad?
I will say it's disappointing.
Oh my God, it's bad. You got to play it. You have to play it.
I know. I did download it.
All right.
So
you got to.
If I have a free moment, I'll give it a shot.
You got to get like an hour into it because it is bad. Power Man Bob, quote, the only reason people were excited for Mario plus Rabbids was because we didn't have a Mario game on the Switch yet. Now I'm gonna get some crap. I said this in my video too. So, oh no, not even remotely true. Mario Odyssey came out a month or 2 later. Is that true?
Might be.
Regardless, what does that have to do with anything? It was nothing like people wanting Luigi's Mansion while waiting for Mario Sunshine for almost a year. People were excited because the director poured his heart and soul into the game, and it was shaping up to be a decent at the very least. Just because somebody pours their heart and soul into something doesn't mean it's good. Okay?
It's true. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was August 29th. And Odyssey was October 27th.
So 2 months. So he's right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything. There's no Mario game on the Switch.
He's saying that a 2-month gap is nothing compared to a year gap that was between Luigi's Mansion and Sunshine.
True, but people don't know that.
People don't remember that.
Well, I mean, people don't know, like, oh, just 2 months until Mario Odyssey, I guess I'll wait. No, people want the Mario game. They're going to get the Mario game.
People want the Mario game, but I feel like you might be underestimating how many people actually legitimately cared about this game.
No, I know a lot of people loved Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah.
I know that. I was just not one of them. Now we're in the chat.
Okay.
For a hot minute.
Yeah. Gadget Mike 21. Rabbids is a great game, you uncultured Sonic swine.
Listen. It was like the gameplay was fun. But it's not I don't like those types of games. Uh-huh. So it wasn't my thing. You know? But it wasn't funny. Right. I don't like that Mario had an arm cannon. I don't like Luigi dabbing. I don't like the stupid selfie humor. So I don't think the game should have existed at all. But as a, like a tactical, XCOM style game, I thought it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Donaru says Luigi games are always better than Mario games.
Damn.
What Luigi games?
That's a hot take.
You got Mario is missing, so already no.
Yeah. Then the Luigi Mansion games.
Luigi's Mansion and Super Luigi U, and that's it.
Super Luigi U doesn't technically count because that's just Mario Brothers U with the different Mario.
Right. Jay Bryce says, so Bob, the South by Southwest is now canceled due to coronavirus. So do you think we might get a Sega Direct or a Sega event? They actually said they're going to do a digital event. And I'm excited for it because we need a new Sonic game announcement.
Yes. I'm surprised they didn't do one earlier, like around when the movie came out.
Super I Like Potato says, dang, I didn't make it in this week. Dang, dude.
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time, man. You win some, you lose some.
All right. Frederico, do you think it's possible to see Halo 3 or some old Halo games on Switch now that Microsoft has been working alongside Nintendo? They are starting to put the Master Chief Collection on Steam. So I feel like it's possible that Halo could eventually come to Switch, but that's weird. That's a weird situation because Halo is the golden child of the Microsoft family. Like it has to do exceptionally well on PC before they can start putting it on Switch, I think.
So I think Microsoft games will come to Switch in some form. I don't know if you're going to be able to just buy a physical copy of Halo.
Yeah.
I think that there will be some weird sort of streaming situation. That's how I think Microsoft is going to live on the Switch.
Yeah.
So get ready for that.
Yeah.
Get ready for something weird. Don't expect to go into the store and say, I'll have one Halo for Switch, please.
Yeah.
But expect some weird thing to happen. All right, I'm reading one more.
All right, I got one more.
Super Saiyan says, Will.
That was
what?
the one more.
All right, well, I'll pick another one then. You read that.
Will, why does a signed comic raise the value and not lower it? A signed Magic card automatically makes the card technically damaged condition. Two different markets, because comics is something that can be collected and displayed and, even stored away. Whereas Magic, I guess, is like you're supposed to play it and use it. And if you write on it, then that removes the playability factor. Whereas comics, yes, you're supposed to read it, but 9 times out of 10, once you read it, it just goes in the collection. And a signed comic, much like a comic from the 40s, you're not necessarily going to pick up and read. You're going to have it to display and show off in your collection. So it doesn't necessarily change the value of it as much as, say, a signed Magic card would.
I would argue that it's because there's like people in comics that are like big deals, like the artists are big deals, like the writers are big deals, and people don't think the same way about whoever's signing the Magic cards.
Right.
Like the artists, there are some all the Magic artists are amazing, but they're not as like legendary. Like if an inker signs a comic book, I think it might get marked as damaged. Like nobody cares that the inker signed the card. You know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, a Scott Williams autographed Batman comic is not going to be anywhere near as expensive as the Jim Lee autographed one.
Right.
Scott Williams is Jim Lee's inker, in case anybody didn't know that.
I'm going to read two more. Ishiken Ignis says, never played Animal Crossing before, and now I'm a little curious with New Horizons. Do you think is worth it to buy on day one? I'm going to say no, because you don't know if you're going to like it.
Yeah.
I would say stay tuned here and over on twitch.tv/wolfden, because I am also not sure if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to buy it for the content. So I'll let you know in the future if you should buy it. And then we got JT Mitchell, who says, what are the odds we'll get more 3DS ports on the Switch? I'm tempted to get the Zelda remasters and Detective Pikachu, but I'd rather play them on the Switch. Well, the next Detective Pikachu is coming.
It's a new game,
Switch.
Isn't it?
Yes. But you can just watch the movie and then play that game.
Yeah. They should start putting 3DS stuff on Switch.
They should.
Yeah.
I thought that they would. But it's a little complicated because it's hard for them to port it because you have two screens. You got to merge it into one. I mean, a lot of games, that bottom screen is just a map. It's kind of worthless.
So I was gonna say the Mega Man Zero collection. They have those two DS games on there, and that works fine.
Yeah, but they have to have a workaround, a way to switch between the two screens, or a way to just not have that screen at all, or a way to put both screens on the same screen.
Yeah.
There's enough resolution for it, but they'd probably be really tiny.
Yeah.
So I think it's unlikely that a lot of 3DS games will get ported, but it could still happen.
Yeah.
Because there's development work that has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, people, for hanging out.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, Wulff Den Live is every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on youtube.com/WulffDen. If you can't make the show for any reason at all, we always put it up as an archive version on Thursday for you to watch on demand whenever you want. If you prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, you can do that as well. We're also an audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher. And if you listen to us on any of those platforms, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us because that helps us with placement on those respective stores. Also, if you want to watch just a little bit of this week's episode of Wulff Den Live, or maybe you want to send a certain segment over to your buddies, then head on over to Wulff Den Clips, where our good friend Eric Henley takes this week's episode and cuts it down to bite-sized chunks for your viewing pleasure.
Thanks, guys. Go over to twitch.tv/WulffDen and click the notification bell because who knows when I'll be live next. Also, no more Sunday streams. RIP. Unless I feel like it. And they'll be over on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So either way, go over to Twitch. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.